What's going on, everyone? So yesterday, the Lakers got a huge win over the Los Angeles Clippers. But one of the pieces that we saw that really helped the Lakers in that game was Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish's first game back, we needed him. He was so versatile. You saw he played 20 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds. The stats aren't going to heavily jump out at you just simply on, he's not a guy that's taking a bunch of shots, high volume. He did shoot 50% from the field, though. 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. That's good. Can you just give us a 3 or 2 threes here and there, make a couple plays? That would be solid. But he's in there for one reason and one reason only: defensive purposes. Whatever he gives us on the offensive side of things is just an added bonus. And you saw his impact on the defense side. You saw his impact with his athleticism, his point of attack, his ability to rebound, his ability to defend multiple positions, switch on multiple players. He was huge in that game in many ways, right? And it's the first game back. He'll only improve, only get better. He'll kind of, get more comfortable, get his legs back underneath him. It's a whole process. But we've been waiting around for everyone else, right? We're waiting around. We got Max Christie back, got Cam Reddish back. We're waiting for Gabe Vincent, who last we heard, he still hasn't done any on-court activities. Looking more and more likely like he's not going to return in early March, but it'll probably be mid to late March. Hopefully he returns. When he does return, hopefully he can kind of get back into that Miami Heat Gabe Vincent form. Fingers crossed. The other person is Jarred Vanderbilt. And we got some new images and posts from Jarred Vanderbilt himself, which is very good. So Jarred Vanderbilt was exercising, working on the bike, doing some drills, things like that. Not basketball on-court activities, but just in the weight room, right? Trying to strength, condition, things like that. And he wasn't in any type of protective boot or anything like that. We saw in the Phoenix Suns game, Jarred Vanderbilt was in a walking boot, and that was like, he's probably not returning anytime soon, right? A little disappointing. We were supposed to get some updates for these guys post All-Star break, and we just didn't, right? It's really unfortunate. Like, we have no real timetable. Even if it's like, there's no word, at least tell us something. Don't just leave us completely in the dark, right? All of us Laker fans are like dying and anxiously waiting around for, like, is Vando coming back this season? Because we're not out of the woods yet. Like, Jarred Vanderbilt still might not return at all. Right, so the hope is that he's working hard. He's trying to get to where he can return to on-court action. And, hopefully mid-March we start hearing about him on basketball activities. But the fact that he's in the gym, he's working on the bike, putting pressure on his foot and his ankles and stuff like that, like, it's good. It's what you want to see. And then also him just, again, doing some strength and conditioning training. We need Jarred Vanderbilt desperately. The impact that he has all over the floor is just, it's immeasurable. And we just don't have, Cam Reddish is the closest we have, but he's still a good distance, right? Like, Jarred Vanderbilt, his hustle, his energy, the way that he defends at such a high level, the impact that he can have on opposing teams' best players and just slow them down. Right, the premier guys, the top of the top guys, you're never going to shut them down, but you can make things as difficult as possible on them. Like a guy usually shoots 50% from the field. You can get him even to 48%. That could be the difference between you winning and losing a game. Jarred Vanderbilt does that. His impact on the defense side, again, is immeasurable, but also the offensive side. And a lot of people don't look at Jarred Vanderbilt as this elite offensive player, which obviously he's not. The Lakers did an excellent job of actually utilizing Jarred Vanderbilt in a positive offensive manner. A lot of off-ball stuff, a lot of just slashing, being the cutter at the rim. It was really good. But to me, and you can see it when you watch the games, his impact on the offensive side are multiple things. One, the offensive rebounds, his ability to just keep balls alive and give the Lakers a second opportunity, or at least keep things alive to where they have an opportunity to potentially get the opportunity. Also on just creating turnovers, right, that lead out into transition, live ball turnovers, right, that allow him to push the pace and go the other direction. All of these things help the Lakers secure more opportunities to score the basketball. Even his defensive rebounding is a huge factor, right? Defense doesn't end until you've secured the basketball and you're heading in the other direction. So Jarred Vanderbilt going and getting you 6 rebounds a game, 2 or 3 of those are offensive, and then, the other 3 or 4 are defensive. I mean, that again generates you more points. And so having him and his impact again on both sides of the basketball is very important, right? He's a big X factor, especially once we get to the playoffs. I mean, you look at all the top teams in the league that we're going to potentially face in the postseason. All of those guys require Jarred Vanderbilt to be on. I mean, front, top to bottom, right? Think of the Phoenix Suns: Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. The Denver Nuggets, have Michael Porter Jr. They have KCP, Jamal Murray. You look at the Clippers; they have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. Even teams like the Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic. The Minnesota Timberwolves have Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. Now, obviously, you don't really want Jarred Vanderbilt defending those guys, but if they had to switch on them in a pinch, Jarred Vanderbilt can hold his own, make things difficult. Even Mike Conley for the Timberwolves. The Thunder, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, Williams. Like all of these guys are guys that Jarred Vanderbilt could really be used and can go a long way against these teams. And just to kind of give us more of that balance, right? Our offense has finally came around. We were early on, we were atrocious offensively, but we've really done a much better job the last month, 2 months, just being one of the better offensive teams. We have the firepower, it's all there, but now you're just seeing the struggles on the defensive side a lot of times. And it's we need, the whole point was that counterbalance, right? You got the offensive weapons, you got the defensive weapons. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of two-way guys, but you can have balanced units out there, right? You can have, a Jarred Vanderbilt with an AD and a Rui or a LeBron and then a Spencer Dinwiddie and D'Lo, right? Now you got a nice balance of offense and defense. You can have a Jarred Vanderbilt, Cam Reddish, Anthony Davis with a D'Lo and a Reeves, right? Now you got a nice balance of offense and defense. It's just, again, you have different. I'm not saying you run a unit like that necessarily heavily, but you get my point, right? It gives you another tool in your toolbox, and it's a dual tool, right? It's a tool that covers so many different projects and covers so much various ground that it really can go a long way. I mean, Jarred, our best lineup still to this day is D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Jarred Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. It's literally still our best 5-man unit. Problem is, 1, Jarred Vanderbilt has missed so much time this year, and 2, Darvin Ham hasn't played that unit a ton, which I would imagine and hope that he plays that more come the postseason. And, also a big thing is one of the issues with Jarred Vanderbilt was his offensive production. Well, again, the Lakers did a much better job before he got hurt of turning him into a viable offensive threat. He's never going to be this elite offensive guy. Well, never say never, but it's more likely than not that he's not going to be some huge. If he can just be serviceable from 3, that would be great. But it's more so about having him be a guy that can constantly move without the basketball and be that threat on the court where you have to stick somebody with him. And he's not because last year, one of the big problems were the Lakers just kind of tucked him in the corner and he never really left. And so you basically were running 4-on-5 out there. Well, when you constantly have him moving, you constantly have him in action, constantly have him moving off ball, that defender has to follow. Because if you don't, and now he's flashing under the basket, you got LeBron James, even Anthony Davis as a passer, Spencer Dinwiddie now, D'Angelo Russell, even Austin Reeves can find that open man. just so many guys that can hit the open man, where if he flashes and he's wide open down under the basket, well, guess what? Now you're giving up an easy 2 points, a dunk, a layup, whatever. And then also him coming from the weak side corner or even the strong side corner and helping get the offensive boards. But more so than anything, gives us some athleticism and foot speed, right? Like that's something the Lakers desperately need. And it's something that can go a long way in the starting unit or a bench unit or whatever. Jarred Vanderbilt was playing excellent basketball before he ended up going down with injury. So hopefully this is a great sign that we're heading in the right direction to Jarred Vanderbilt potentially returning, that we're heading in the right direction to getting this team fully healthy on the basketball court, right? Like, how do we know what this team truly can be when we basically have had 3, 4, 5 guys basically out at any given time all season, right? Pretty much everybody has been in and out of the lineup all season, except for like Austin Reeves, knock on wood. But like, D'Lo's missed some games. LeBron, AD, luckily they've been healthy for the most part, but Jarred Vanderbilt, Cam Reddish, Rui, you name it, they've all basically been out. It would just be really nice to kind of just get everybody back. You have Max Christie, Cam Reddish back. You get Jarred Vanderbilt back. You get Gabe Vincent back. Christian Wood hopefully will return at some point. And there we go. Now we got a full roster heading into the postseason. It'd be nice if we get at least, 10 games under our belt, fully healthy, kind of see what this team looks like, kind of hash out our rotation, key players. Also, the depth would go a long way to kind of just keeping guys fresh going into the postseason. Go rattle off some wins. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Excited? How do you feel about these images and this news? Jarred Vanderbilt. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.